All right, we're back. Episode 6. Got the weekend pick still coming up. Only a few games. Had a lot on Thanksgiving and everything, but going to get through those and talk a little Bears at the end.
Yeah, happy to be here. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Oh, we've also got a new segment with Tom presenting weather for games. So
Stay tuned.
yeah, definitely going to have to watch the whole show now to see that.
Whoa.
But yeah, I mean, we can start out. What everybody do for Thanksgiving? I mean, I had pretty simple stuff, but if anybody did some crazy stuff, I'd like to hear.
Yeah, I'll start here. Thanksgiving is a great holiday. We get together with family, we prepare a great meal, sit around the dinner table, share stories, catch up. And that's what I've done so far. I'm 2 out of 3 Thanksgivings done. Got one more tomorrow. But so far so good. I've overstuffed myself both on Thanksgiving Day itself and then Black Friday as well. So looking forward to number 3 tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, I've
Enjoying your big screen.
I've eaten. Oh yeah.
I was going to say full participant in Black Friday as well.
Yeah, I got a 75-incher. Sunday football is just, it's not going to be the same anymore. It's going to be an elevated experience. So I'm excited for that. And I've probably eaten my weight in deviled eggs. So
no.
if you guys are lucky you aren't here with me, you'd be smelling that. Yeah, Tom, what'd you do, man?
Oh man, I have just been enjoying my days off. I took Wednesday off of work as well.
Nice.
Had the wife's Thanksgiving, and then we went over to mine. And like you, have eaten way too much. I think I'm gonna try to work out today because I just feel like a big pile of crap. But yeah, it was just been nice.
It's going to be before or after your nap that you need to take, so you don't fall asleep in the movies.
Well, maybe I'll just work out to get me
going. That nap, get extra tired.
There's
anyway,
literal 0% chance Tom stays awake through whatever movie he goes to later. My Thanksgiving was pretty chill. Just Mariah and I. Didn't do a turkey, just did some steaks.
What kind of steaks you popping on the grill?
Couple ribeyes.
Nice.
Did a little reverse sear because I don't have a grill.
Oh, okay.
In the oven, then popped them on the stove top there for like 5 minutes. Been doing that a lot. I like that approach.
How many minutes of YouTube did you watch on the instruction for that?
I've done it enough times now to where I have I kind of as long as it's not like some crazy thick steak, and I get my steaks at Kroger's, so they're nothing special. But they taste good. Yeah, Kroger's, King Soopers, for the Colorado people.
So dumb with that for no reason.
I am fairly certain that I have some sort of allergy to anything that comes from a cow, meat, milk, dairy, anything like that. So I've been suffering the consequences pretty severely the last few days.
Worth it?
Definitely worth it. I'll never change. Yeah. Tastes too good to stop eating it. So
yeah. Words. It looks like you got a
good Thanksgiving though.
Going.
Yeah, dude.
In the back
with cold.
Is that a background or is it your house? Like what?
Oh yeah, this is our sunroom that we have, which it's also cold in here. It's not like it's sealed very well at all. In fact, that's a project that I need to get to. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. The sun was out a little bit earlier, so it's not as cold as it would be otherwise. But the wind's blowing at like 20 miles an hour, and again, it's not very well sealed.
That snow looks blustery over there.
Yeah, all the needles and stuff, they're just frozen. It's not like there's snow on them. Well, there is snow on them as well, but like on some of the other pine trees and stuff over here, they just have big, long needles that are just all white, which is kind of cool. But yeah, dude, for Thanksgiving, we just had Savannah's mom and sister over, just cooked at our house for the first time. It was our first Thanksgiving in the house, so that was kind of nice. Did it up with the turkey. So I'm not the biggest turkey fan or Thanksgiving food fan as a whole. I tend to side with the people that are like, it's a sad take to have. I know it's not fun. Live your life and have fun. But like, we don't eat it that often. Like I'm not going and buying a whole ass turkey or, doing stuffing, even though I love stuffing. Like, when do you eat stuffing outside of, and there are people that do. So, I mean, I don't want to come at everybody, but yeah, so I really did it up. Also, a funny thing, I'm just looking at the grill out here. our dryer we got brand new with the house. They didn't have them with the house as a thing that we knew about, so we had to get some like fairly decently nice dryers. I didn't want to buy them again in 5 years. I got the higher ones to hopefully last 10 years, hopefully. But the red light started coming on, and the clothes were not getting dry, and it said like check the vents. So I was like, all right, I'll check the vents, whatever. And I go out here and I find the dryer vent, and it was hard to find because there's no air coming out of it whatsoever. So like did a little research and stuff, and it's like, okay, like it's probably clogged somewhere that's not letting air evacuate, and it's just kind of pushing the air from the dryer back through the ducting, and like that's why it's not doing anything. It's not letting that air evacuate like it should. So I find like the flapper and everything. I call my dad, and he tells me about it, and there's a little hood that goes over the top of it to keep like water and snow and everything out of it. And I'm like, this flapper, what's behind it is just stucco. So it was just on the house, like it would work. And there's supposed to be a pipe, obviously, like ducting that evacuate all the exhaust.
Yeah.
So there's just the thing is all there, and it looks right. And I'd pull it off and rip it off, and I have to saw like a hole in my deck and stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to be a total jackass right now if I'm sawing a hole in my deck and then I'm wrong about this. And I was right, turns out, which is crazy, but
fire
fixed that problem.
I didn't know where you were going with that for a second.
No, it was right by the Traeger.
Setting yourself up.
Well, I know I'm very sporadic in my train of thought here, but I was looking at the Traeger where we smoked the turkey at, and I was like, dude, like, can't not talk about that because it was just unbelievable. Because again, I just felt like such a jackass. I had like a drywall saw and was just sawing through the deck out there.
So you had a very interesting Thanksgiving, huh?
All right,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that was the day before, and I was like, I'm not gonna fix that the rest of the way, so I still do need to put the new hood and stuff over it. But like, I don't know what I'm gonna do because the deck is still all around it. So like, I might have to do like one of the like PVC pipes where you like swan neck it. And
is this a home improvement podcast? What is this? Tell us more. Tell us more about this turkey. Because I know you put a lot of preparation and hours into this turkey with the wet brine.
We're 7.5 minutes in. We're just talking about Thanksgiving.
So if we can just get like a 1.5 minute synopsis on how that came out. Was it dry? Was it juicy? Was there enough smoke flavor? How did the wet brine affect the cooking process?
Well, give me 2 minutes because I got to start from the top. But
please.
I feel like growing up, it was always like a panic. Like people are coming over. We got to clean the whole house. We got to cook everything. We got to do all this stuff. Like we cleaned the house like 2 days before, and then we just did like a touch-up clean the day before, and then we pre-prepped and like chopped all the stuff for the stuffing, and like Savannah did a mushroom gravy, sliced all the mushrooms up the night before, and then we just put everything in the fridge. So it was just like, boom, ready to go. Like we had to start a few things, but like we walked the dogs on Thanksgiving morning. Like we were mostly chilling. Like I had the turkey on the smoker. That was pretty much my only duty. And Savannah put some stuff in we didn't leave with the smoker and the oven going. It was a short walk. So yeah, the wet brine and everything, that was ridiculous. You do like citrus, some herbs, some spice. So just like cayenne pepper and some like the red chili flake peppers and stuff. Let that sit for like 12 hours. And then you have to like pat it dry and everything just to like get a better crisp on the skin. But dude, I put it on the smoker. I actually overcooked it by like 20 degrees, and it was still just so gosh darn good. The popper didn't come out until like 180, which it's done at 165.
Defective popper. Seen it a million times.
Yeah, you can't rely on those, but it was also my mistake because I had messed with the temperature that I smoked it at because I was worried about being behind on things because I have been behind on things before when I have just like a bunch of people over and they're like, when's this brisket going to be done? And I'm like, we got to let it sit and stew in the juices in the foil wrap for another hour. But people don't like to do that. So I was making sure I didn't run into that same problem, and I overcooked it a little bit. But I mean, as far as, again, don't like the Thanksgiving food. So I wanted to do it up as much as I could so that I could at least try to enjoy it. And I was like, if I put enough work into this, I'll at least enjoy it for that. So did it up, did all the stuff, looked on all the YouTube videos, how to do it. And yeah, it was good. It was really good. Pies went hard. Gotta say, like, again, hating on Thanksgiving food, but God, the pies are incredible.
All right.
Apple
You're
pie,
hating on it, but
pie.
you just named a bunch of great stuff. You know?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And then, again, like I love green bean casserole.
Like
kind of another Thanksgiving thing. Love green bean casserole. Oh, pickle treats. Do you guys do pickle treats?
We're going to move on that note. So next, we're just gonna go into.
Should we end it now?
Jump right into the preview, or Tom? Do you want to? No, we're gonna do the weather segments with the games, right? With
Yep.
All right.
Tom's
Well,
weather forecast. Yeah.
Luke Hallways winning. You want to hit us with the first line of the day for tomorrow at the noon slate?
Yes, I do. Before I do that, just a quick update. Borgo had made us aware of our current standings for this week prior to jumping on. And I think everybody is at 3-1 except for Wargo, who is currently at 1-3 for the picks for the Thanksgiving and Black Friday games. So he needs to make up some ground here. And we'll start.
Well, I think with just a side note, Wargo, go with your gut. You know?
No, I mean, I watched Scarface recently, and everybody needs a bad guy, so I'll be the bad guy.
I feel like you were changing your picks last time. Go ahead, Luke.
So first game of Sunday, first game on the 12 o'clock slate is Jacksonville at Houston, and Jacksonville is favored -1.5 here. Who wants to kick it off?
I'll kick it off. Houston won the first meeting of these two teams earlier in the year in Jacksonville. A time when it was early in the season, not a lot of people knew what we had in CJ Stroud, and he went into a hostile environment and led his team to victory. Now he has the advantage of being at home. They have built some confidence. They know that they're a good football team at this point, and they have some playoff aspirations, I believe. Within their division, they have a chance to win that division, and so I'm gonna go with Houston on this spread. I just really like how they're playing football right now. Jacksonville is a great team, but Houston at home, they already have one victory over Jacksonville this year. I just think they're tough, and they get the job done.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to take Jacksonville on this one. I think it's hard to beat a team twice, especially in the NFL. Jacksonville plays away almost every game because their fans are dog water. Yeah, I think they're gonna win this game. Right. They're out for they're fighting for the division as well, and I think they're just going to win.
They're going to win the game. Are they going to cover the spread? I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, but
yeah,
you do have
got to win by 2.
Yeah, they're going to cover that. They're going to win by a touchdown at least.
Wow. Okay.
6 points, not 7. Orgo, what do you got?
Yeah, dang it, I wanted to go last. I don't want to fade Jesse anymore. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm going to take Houston. Yeah, they're too good at home. This line doesn't make sense, so I do want to take the other side of it, which would be Jacksonville, because, again, it doesn't make sense to me for them to be favored at Houston. Potent defense versus a high-octane offense. I'm going to take Houston.
Okay.
I'm with Tom. Like Jacksonville here. I do like the point he brought up in terms of competitive teams winning season-long matchups outright. So, like, Houston's already got their win. These teams are obviously in division, separated by a game right now. Jacksonville 7-3, Houston 6-4. I think Jacksonville understands that, and that if they don't go into Houston, take care of business, even up the season series, that Houston could steal the division from them. And I think that just in terms of where we see these teams at in their overall progression, it makes sense. Jacksonville seems like they're a year ahead to me. You got first year QB, first year coach in Houston. I'm going to take Peterson and Lawrence to win this one. I think it'll be a competitive game. I think the spread is right on. Like I think it's a good line for Vegas, and but I do like Jacksonville, so I'll take them here.
Yeah, it almost seems like Jacksonville or Houston's kind of like Jacksonville last year. Like you said, a year behind.
Yeah.
They're really Yeah, well, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. So next game is a real crapper tank game. We have Carolina heading to Tennessee, and Tennessee is favored -3.5. And I do believe that this game is going to be featured, the first featured game on Tom's weather report. So I will hand it over to him, and let's hear what we can expect weather-wise for this game, Tom.
Yeah, give me that graphic, Wargo.
Oh, no, it's the wrong one. Disaster strikes early.
So, just a
you
little
got
bit about me before I start this weather program. I've loved the weather since I was a little kid. So I've watched the Weather Channel. I could talk your ear off, but for football's sake here, we are at Panthers versus the Titans. We have a system coming through from the west, just in time. Come from the west just in time for this game. I believe what's a noon game here.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So it looks like we have a chance of light rain throughout the game. High of 53 kickoff time. Light wind sideline to sideline. So it's going to be a wet one out there. And if we're going to pick right now, what's the spread?
Tennessee is favored -3.5.
Oh, man. I think
Tennessee's -3.5.
it's going to be just a crapshoot of a game. Give me the Panthers.
Tom likes the Panthers.
Yep.
I can go next. I appreciate the insight for the weather there, Tom. And as I had mentioned prior to us jumping on together, I think these weather reports from Tom are going to have a heavy influence from me personally and my gambling habits. Knowing that this is going to be two poor teams playing one another in not the greatest weather. I think that you want to look at what team has like the overall greatest strength. And for me, that's Tennessee, Derrick Henry. Getting later in the year, I talked about it last week. Tennessee's going to start to lean on that run game a little bit. Poor weather. I'll take Tennessee here at -3.5.
Yeah,
Tom, sorry, Tom, you did say Carolina, right? You can change it. I was just heating up my coffee.
I think, I'm gonna change this because they don't have any running backs. It's like I can't. I just went with it.
Got some holes.
I'm gonna go Titans here, and they are 3.5. I'm gonna cover it. Yeah.
All right.
Titans. Yeah.
Should we leave the graphic or drop it? I think we can drop it now. No.
Yeah, you can drop it.
The following game is actually that we're going to be picking is going to be
The next
Pittsburgh
one.
at Cincinnati. So
Yeah.
I'll keep it ready to
leave
go.
it up if you want.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh well. All right.
All right. So for this game, the Panthers are a bad team. They just straight up, they're bad. The Titans are a bad team as well, but they're not as bad. And so because of that, because Tennessee is at home, and with Tom's weather report and what Luke had mentioned about leaning on the run game, I think that is going to be their bread and butter this weekend. The Panthers offense it's fractured. They can't really get anything going. They can't get into the flow of the game. I think Tennessee's defense continues that theme for them, giving them some problems. And King Henry has a big game, and the Titans cover here at home.
Or you get to go last this time.
Wild that Carolina's only getting 3.5 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like a lot of what you guys are saying. I definitely want to fade you and at least mix it up a little bit, but that didn't really go very well for me last week. Being the odd guy, it seems like I missed all the games that you guys were on, or at least that somebody was on. So I'll go with Tennessee to cover. And can I go last again? Because I got a BRB.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Throw the graphic up, though.
Yeah, throw it up.
Yeah, so next game is Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, and we are looking at Pittsburgh being favored -2 in this one. Tom?
Pittsburgh -2.
Pittsburgh is -2. What's the weather looking like?
So a lot like Panthers versus Titans, we're going to have rain showers possible throughout the game. It's a little bit windier here from sideline to sideline. Again, I don't know how much that's going to affect, an opposing kicker. Definitely going to have to adjust for that. But, I think this has the highest probability of some showers throughout the game. I'm just happy to do these because – these games, weather has a huge influence on these, whether it be snow, rain, wind. You got to take these factors when you're picking your teams, and I'm just happy to do this. But I'm going to say Steelers are going to win this one, and they're going to cover as well.
I'll go next.
2.5 at Cincinnati. Pitt 2.5.
Just 2.
Oh, okay.
This one I could see being a really low scoring. Current over under is at 35.5. I don't see them exceeding that, but I do think it'll be close. Again, I think this is a good line. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh here. Cincy, going through a lot, losing Burrow for the season. Jake Browning from University of Washington probably has some experience playing in some poor weather in Pacific Northwest up there. But I just think Tomlin lost a division game last week to the Browns. I think they probably get right, stay in the division race. They were saying possibly 3 teams coming out of this division in the playoffs. So I'll take Tomlin to get a win in Cincinnati here in a very crappy game.
Works, you can probably take the graphic down here.
Got it.
Show our beautiful faces.
This game is, it's a divisional game. My uncle lives about 30 minutes south of Cincinnati, so naturally he's a Bengals fan. My grandpa always gives him crap. Mine and Luke's uncle and our grandpa, he always gives our uncle crap about when Pittsburgh comes to Cincinnati, how he's always gets scared shitless. And, they just come out, they play physical games. And Pittsburgh's offense is just horrible. And I don't know how, Tomlin can only do so much in preparing these guys to go out and play and execute at a high level. And with Kenny Pickett at the helm, I just don't see them being able to get that done. Their one bright spot on offense is Jaylen Warren, and they're not giving him the ball nearly enough. So even with Jake Browning at backup, he still has great weapons around him with Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. The defense isn't bad. So in some crappy weather, I'm going to go ahead and take Cincinnati at home here on this spread.
Are you chunking over there? What's going on? Chunking? Your internet?
Oh, am I a little slow?
No, you just look a little bit pixelated there.
Pixelated.
Oh, there you go. Who you got? Sorry.
Thanks for calling me out. Oh, it's probably because I'm still in the presenter mode, which I don't need to be in. That probably. All right, get the heck out of here.
Can you guys hear these guys cleaning leaves right outside my house here?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked Luke's speech on Pittsburgh last week, and this week it was a lot of the same stuff with Tomlin, and I want to believe in Tomlin. I don't believe in Pickett. I could see this being a game where they might even flirt with putting the backup in because Pickett's going to be so bad. I think Cincinnati's got a lot to play for, could rally around their defense. Still a lot of weapons on offense, albeit they have their backup at quarterback. I don't like the disrespect of Cincinnati being a dog at home. So I'm going to take them.
Just a heads
Poor
up.
dog who's going to fight in his own backyard.
I bring this up all the time. Seems like once podcast, but it's that time of the year. Pittsburgh did just fire their offensive coordinator last week after that game, after that loss to Cleveland. So in my opinion, this could be a situation where, again, it's his fault. It's not our fault. We're good. We got Najee Harris. We got Pickens. We got Deontay Johnson. I think that they could commit to running the ball. Bad weather, they got a couple good running backs. Jalen Warren's like, hey, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I'm way better than Najee Harris, so maybe just like give me the ball some more. You could see a little bit more commitment to that with offensive coordinator going out and being like, why aren't we giving this guy the ball more? He's super productive. He has been all year long with the touches he gets. So T. Higgins is also still out. Just a heads up. Next game.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna just kidding.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd doesn't drop another touchdown in the end zone the rest of the year.
Wait, who picked Pittsburgh then? I picked Pittsburgh.
Yes.
You and me, Tom.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You and me.
Right. Luke.
It makes me a little nervous. I'm siding with Luke a lot of this.
Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah.
Just kidding, Luke.
Tom, it'll work out. Trust me.
It's gonna.
Tampa Bay at Indianapolis. Next game here. Indy is favored -2.5 against Tampa Bay.
Interesting.
I can go first since I've been going last. I'm just going to pick this one on vibes. Yeah, I'm not going to use any analytics. Like I said, I'm just going to go with Indy at home. Liking the home teams.
All right.
I don't like that pick. Oh well.
I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay in this one. I think these are pretty equatable teams in terms of how good they are overall as a measure. If you look at both sides of the ball, offense and defense, but I just think Tampa Bay on the spread.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tampa Bay as well. I think they played the 49ers tough last week, even though they lost. I think their defense is playing okay, and enough to beat the Colts and cover the spread. Well, I guess if I'm having Bucks win. Yeah, give me the Bucks.
This one's tough for me. I was just taking a peek at Tampa Bay's injury report. Levante David out, Jamel Dean out, Carlton Davis questionable. So back end on Tampa is kind of scary. Like I mean, they could potentially be starting 3 backups, and that doesn't seem great. Also saw that Rashad White was added to the injury report after yesterday's practice, which is great for me. He's on my fantasy team. I think it was a knee, and knees, usually don't have a big effect on running backs. So looking forward to seeing how that progresses to tomorrow. Yeah, this is tough. Give me Tampa Bay +2.5.
So I picked first, and I'm on the opposite as everybody. Great.
So do I have to do a spread when I picked the team that's not favored?
Spread it's just the opposite for the underdog.
Okay.
So if it's -2.5 and the other team gets
or
2.5.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay can lose by 2, and if you pick Tampa Bay, then you're still correct.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Nice.
Did everybody pick?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Next game is Patriots at the New York Giants. And The Patriots are favored -3.5 here.
I think we all need to forgive Tommy DeVito, or not forgive him, but like,
Yeah, we were playing on him,
talking
dude.
a bunch of shit about him. Because last week he had a great game and he won. He won a game as a starting quarterback in the NFL, which I didn't think I'd ever see. So pretty crazy. I am going to. Having said that, I'm going to go with New England here. I think Tommy DeVito doesn't play quite as well as he did last week. Bill Belichick notoriously gives rookie quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, a lot of trouble. So even though it's in New York, I think New England plays well enough to cover the spread and win by 4 more points here. I'm going to go with them.
Yeah, I wrote down Pats instead of like New England or whatever else I've been writing down. But when I wrote down Pats, I just got some good vibes seeing that. Giants are really bad. I think they're going with Zappy, right?
Is that right?
Patriots are, that is.
It says he could see action.
I expect him to see some action.
Yeah, I don't know if they're starting him, but
cold weather games and Patriots, like sometimes teams are at a disadvantage. I believe Miami to be one of them, though they had no issues yesterday. But yeah, I can just see Bill Belichick in a nice beanie, such as I'm rocking currently, and just getting snowed on and being just Bill Belichick, just like this is home for me.
No snow in the forecast. But yeah,
21 hours ago, Bill Belichick declined to name the Patriots starting quarterback.
Love that action. Yeah, and they're still -3 on the road. Sure, I'm going to take that for sure.
3.5.
Drama. 3.5.
I don't know if that makes a difference for you.
New England's favored, right? I'm sorry. New England, but 3.5.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep. That was too much commentary for me. Pats, 3.5. Easy.
Well, to your point, Wargo, I think the Giants are also notorious for cold weather games. So it could go either way in that aspect. But I'm going to pick the Giants here. I think Barkley ran really well last week. And then DeVito, was a surprise for them. They're moving the ball more so than New England and the whole pit fire of Mac Jones and just whoever is going to be. Their offense is stagnant at this point, and I can't trust them. So New York with the hot hand, going with them. Cover spread.
All right.
I say cover the spread. Sometimes I don't know if I'm using it correctly. So
I will go. I don't like this game. I'm going to go with New England -3.5.
So Tom's the only one on the Giants?
Yep.
I didn't want to say it like that, but just to confirm.
right. It's fact.
Okay.
He likes Barkley.
Cool.
Next game. New Orleans at Atlanta. New Orleans is favored -1.5. If Jameis, I can start this one. Is Jameis playing? Is he the starting quarterback for New Orleans now?
Saints removed Carr from injury from Week 12 injury report on Thursday, so he's probably slated to start this game.
All right, I'll take Atlanta then. If Jameis was playing, I'd take the Saints. That goofball. I saw him at the Florida State game. So just quick side note on this. Jordan Travis, quarterback for Florida State, gruesome injury last week. His leg was dangling. It was bad. And Jameis was at the game, and everybody's kind of crowded around him, and they keep going to Jameis on the sideline like he's a part of the team. Jameis is holding on to another man with his head buried in his shoulder. Like the guy is just, if you put a TV camera on him, crazy things are going to happen. And for that reason, if he were starting, I'd take the Saints. But I'm going to take Atlanta plus 1.5 here. I don't know who's starting for them, Desmond Ritter or Taylor Heineke, but don't like the Saints on the road in Atlanta.
I don't know how the defenses actually stack up, but I feel like they've both played like a number of good defensive games. I think Derek Carr gets up for this game. I think it's going to be a close game, a low-scoring game. But if Derek Carr is a starter, I'm going to fade entirely what Luke's thinking. He kind of seems like a guy that, like, I mean, I'm not the guy. Certainly, like when I played my sports and everything like that, I was always grateful that there was another guy that was like, we need to do this for our families, and like, I just feel like Derek Carr could just get me pumped up. I don't know, like I'd be like, thank God, thank God for this guy. So him coming off injury, I think is a dangerous thing. I mean, he's a big cheese ball, I guess is kind of what I'm trying to say, but I like it. Right.
Go ahead, Luke.
I took Atlanta.
Oh yeah, Jesse, you're up.
I'm gonna take New Orleans here. The Falcons are coming in with 3 losses in a row to Tennessee, Minnesota, and Arizona, and those aren't great.
Due.
They aren't great teams, and they're trying to figure out what they got at quarterback, and I just don't. I'm not super impressed with how they've played to this point in the year.
Would like to see Heineke get in, though, honestly.
It's the same story for New Orleans, but I do think Derek Carr comes back and plays well enough to win the game and cover the spread against the Falcons, even if it is in Atlanta. So I'm going to take the Saints here.
The largest spread in these 6 games has been 3.5.
Yeah, these are some tight games.
Yeah. Sorry, Tom.
Falcons aren't playing good. I don't like them, even at home. New Orleans coming off a bye. I think their defense is pretty okay. Yeah, either, Derek Carr or Jameson Winston. I mean, just not great quarterbacks in this league. They're okay, but not great. But I think it's enough to get them a win this weekend.
All right. And to cover the spread.
Did I take Tampa Bay?
Yeah,
you did.
Okay, good.
Why?
I'm marking it down on my side, and I kind of remember who I took.
You don't trust me? My notebook, dude?
No, I mean, I just have my own board that I take with Mariah, and I just want to make sure I get my picks on there. Good. Next game, first afternoon game is Cleveland at Denver. Denver's favored -1.5 in this one.
Man, these tight games.
Yeah, all the big spreads were on in the Thanksgiving game and Black Friday.
Yeah,
there's a couple left, but
I'll start this one off. I've been riding this Denver train. I like what Sean Payton is creating there, and they are just really winning tight games, and that's what good teams do.
Sean Payton effect, sinking further into Denver.
They're at home. That's always something when you're in the altitude. Just Browns, they're good.
Still tying it back to weather, even though this isn't a weather game.
This might be.
It is in Denver.
This might be the coldest
game. Time weather, 33 degrees.
Yeah, this might be the coldest game.
Snowflake. So.
Yeah, what is it?
Snow game?
There's one snowflake, so I'm guessing that means like small amount.
Should have done this one.
The cold will be the real factor here. Maybe some drop balls, but other than that, they'll get used to it. But I think Denver covered.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll pick next. This one's tough because Deshaun Watson's out. We have a rookie quarterback starting for the Cleveland Browns who have been playing really, really well, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They shut out the Cardinals. I guess it's not really that impressive. before they got Kyler back, right? But held the Steelers to 10 points last week. They beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens in a shootout.
Can't call it that anymore.
I having said that, the Broncos are playing better. I'll beside the point that they lost last week to the Josh Dobbs led Vikings, right? Didn't they?
I don't think so.
No, they won.
No, they won that game.
Yeah. 21-20 or something.
21-20. Yep.
My
Josh
mistake.
Dobbs covered, however.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So what that means they're on a what 4-game winning streak at this point. I think that continues to roll. I don't think they put up a lot of points against this Browns defense, but I do think that the Broncos defense gives DTR some trouble, forces him into a couple turnovers. Maybe they get him in the backfield a few times as well, and the Broncos cover the spread at home.
I'll take the Broncos too. I won't say anything about Sean Payton this week.
I already decided it earlier when Tom was making his pick. You had your headphones off though. The last time everybody was on Denver, Josh Dobbs covered against Denver.
This isn't Josh Dobbs. This is DTR.
Borgo's going to pass on this game. All right.
I'll take Denver. I think altitude, cold, and they're like the coaches that you guys were citing that smell blood in the water. Mike Tomlin, Salah, or whoever the other one was. I think Denver
Definitely
defense smells blood in the water.
That needs a
Salah puts blood in the water. But his team, unfortunately, I don't think they can smell anything.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
the Jets
Denver defense is going to
Jets are bad.
Dude, that punt return or that Hail Mary. Well, no, that was the Dolphins.
Yeah, against the Jets.
That was nice.
Yeah. I was right.
All right. Next game.
Yeah.
Next game is the Rams going to Arizona, play the Cardinals. Rams are favored -2.5.
This is insane. Give me the cards. Next.
I like the decisiveness. I am checking, and I am also on the Cardinals. They've covered the last 2 games. With Murray back.
Is this spread because Kyron Williams is back, or what? I haven't seen much out of the Rams to have them win this game.
Kyron Williams is back. If that was a question, you might have been making a point. But
I don't know. Sometimes,
No, I think that might play into it, Tom. That could be it. But I personally I like the Cardinals in Arizona.
Yeah, is Kupp injured? Is he?
Kupp is questionable. He had a low ankle sprain, again, on my fantasy team. But he is without injury designation currently via the ESPN fantasy app.
I just think the Rams have, they've had some injury this year. Stafford's not been himself.
Cardinals.
Rams. I'm going to take the Rams.
Whoa. Swerve.
Yep.
Right.
That's Wargo. That's what you call a gut decision.
Oh, nice. A what? What'd you say?
Gut decision.
Oh, gut. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, cut out for a second for me. Yeah, gut decision. Luke and Jesse made gut decisions. They've been decently hot on gambling. I don't give a shit or know anything about this game except for the players that are coming back that were just listed. So Arizona.
Tom, that could be a big one for you. We'll see.
Yep.
Next game is I'm gonna switch apps here. We are looking at Buffalo at Philly. This could be a good one.
Good game.
Phillies favored -3.
Phillies favored -3. That's
Thoughts,
interesting.
feelings. I think this. I could start. Tom, weather.
We have another weather report here. Philly against the Bills. Possible rain showers late as this front moves through. As this is an afternoon game, I expect. I don't see a lot. This is the rain affecting this game as much as the weather forecast says. I think it might be too late before this gets through here, but it is something to talk about. But Jalen, if it does rain, he played pretty well against Philly or Kansas City last week in the rain. I think this is a 21-14 game, Philly.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Tom here. I think Philly covers this spread at home. Josh Allen turns the ball over a couple times, which leads to some points for Philadelphia. And that leads not only to victory, but a large enough margin to cover the spread here. So I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Wargo, you look confused.
You said Josh.
This is like the art of the deal between me and Wargo, trying to go for the last pick every time. It's like whoever speaks first loses.
Well, no, it's just you said Josh Dobbs turns the ball over.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Let's see what the tape says.
I almost said that. I said Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Subconsciously, you said Josh Allen, but really.
Yeah. Anyways, Josh Allen turns the ball over a couple times. Eagles.
No
Eagles.
way. Crazy prediction on
Eagles
that one. Hot take.
Hey.
Sorry, neighbors collecting some firewood outside. The dogs want to come say hi.
I'll go first on this one, and by first I mean third. But first in Wargo and I's order. Buffalo is dangerously close to like falling out of playoff contention. Like they're slipping. Dolphins are currently sitting at 8-3. The Bills are currently 6-5, and on the bubble. I think that they've got a little more to play for here than the Eagles, and I think that they're still a good enough team to like be in the hunt. I don't think they fall to a point where like we're like, wow, that's just a throwaway season for the Bills here. So I think that they may not win. But I think I like them to keep it close. I'll take them +3. Also, it's at 3.5 earlier in the week, and it's currently at 3 now. So Vegas is thinking this game is getting a little closer as we get closer to game time. So
you said that about the Dallas game.
True.
What happened? But then I picked Dallas, and
yeah, but you were sending out the cautionary tale of. Oh, the
Washington getting closer. Moved. Yeah. Well, it's just something to keep in mind. You don't have to take it. Do with it what you will. And go fuck yourself.
Wargo, what are you taking? Coach Wargs, let's go.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Perfect. Next game is Sunday Night Football. Baltimore.
I think we missed one of the afternoon games. Kansas City Raiders.
Yes, we did. Kansas City at Las Vegas. Thank you, Jesse. And Kansas City's favored -9.
-9, huh?
9 hole.
I'll go here. The Chiefs are struggling a little bit right now. I called their offense anemic last week prior to their matchup with, who was it? Philadelphia, which that's a really tough defense. The Raiders defense obviously is not as formidable as an opponent, but this one is in Las Vegas. So it is a road game. The Raiders have been playing really well since Antonio Pierce took over the head coaching job. I think they've covered the spread in each of the 3 games he's been the actual head coach. So I am gonna, against probably popular opinion here, I'm gonna be on the Raiders. I think it's a close game, and they contain Mahomes a little bit, or maybe they don't contain him, but his wide receivers just don't catch the ball because they just drop everything. So give me the Raiders.
Yeah. So if I pick the Raiders here, they have to cover the spread by 9.
They have to be within 9 at the end of the game.
They lose by 10, then you lose your bet. They lose by 9, you don't get a point.
But if they win by 9, it's the same thing.
If they win by 9.
If they win, you win, right? I mean,
yes.
That's okay. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. If they win, they win. Kansas City is not the team that last year they could be down 21-0 and come back. They don't have that offensive firepower anymore. Mahomes, we're in a different era. You know, Kelsey's talking about retirement. It's just, it doesn't feel like this team is a Super Bowl contender this year as I thought last year. You know, I think they're going to go in the playoffs. I think they're going to, you know, with Mahomes, anything can happen. But did they win this game? Probably. But I think I've taken Raiders to cover.
I think the cover streak for the Raiders ends here. I think you see a very wildly motivated Chiefs team. With all the drops last week, I think that the offense looks like last year. Well, like pre Tyreek Hill leaving. I think that you're going to see some why haven't these guys been doing this all year? A lot of motivation coming from their end. Spagnuolo, the DC for Kansas City, he likes to bring a lot of pressure. He's playing a rookie quarterback. When you're dealing with that, you have to be able to process very quickly. I actually like Aiden O'Connell. I think he could potentially have a little bit of a career, but he's probably going to see some stuff that he hasn't seen yet playing in this game. So
you like that stash?
I do like the stash very much from O'Connell. But again, and I like Antonio Pierce too. Like Jesse said, they've covered in all 3 games that he's been the coach. But I see this being a situation where Kansas City, they're going to get right here. And I think they'll cover this 9.
Okay. Works, who you got, buddy?
You're on mute.
You're mute.
Yeah, sorry, the dog's been barking. Getting a ladder delivered so I can do more projects around the house.
You're a busy man.
5% off on Amazon. I just get all the stuff that I need to renovate the house. 5% cash back on my credit card. Whatever. I liked a lot of what you guys were saying with the Raiders. I was going to be on the Raiders to start. I just liked what Luke was saying more, so I'm going to take the advantage of going last, ride with my guy Luke.
I can
see Casey blowing him out.
Okay.
Raiders
now that we've finished the afternoon games, Sunday Night Football, Baltimore at Los Angeles Chargers. I always say just to go in the order of things, especially for the Chargers, they really don't have home games. It's tough. It just seems like you always hear the opposing team's fans more at LA home games for the Chargers. I think that Baltimore and Lamar go in, get a dub, cover -3, and Brandon Staley, I don't know, he might get fired. I don't. I think he's going to get fired before the end of the year. I'm not getting
On
off
him,
this
dude.
train.
That's funny. Yeah, with Luke going first, I feel like I want to reverse it. I do have a dumb question though. Wasn't paying attention. What's the line? Baltimore at Chargers.
Baltimore's favored -3.
-3 on the road at LA. Okay. I mean, LA's bad. Gosh dang it. I wanted to make a quick pick. Chargers, they got to win a game eventually.
Yeah, Herbert is notoriously known for having a cool head, and he's been a little bit not, he's kind of getting angry at his team for sucking, and I think there's a little bit of hostility in the locker room right now for that defense just not playing well. I think Lamar's, are they in the division? No. Are they in LA? No, they're not.
That'd be tough. They're pretty far away.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, there's just too much going on in that locker room. Lamar is going to be too much for them to handle. They don't see him that often, and we've talked about that before. Lamar is a different animal when you don't play him twice a year. They're going to win. Baltimore.
They're going to win. Are they going to cover?
Yeah, they're going to just win it,
They're gonna do it.
They're going to win by a lot.
I like Baltimore here as well. Their defense is really good. The Chargers' offense is it could be good. It should be good.
They got a case of stopping as well.
But the Chargers' defense is horrid. Even with all the playmakers that they have, they just I don't know what it is, but they cannot stop teams from getting into the end zone. So
Brandon Staley.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Baltimore. Lamar Jackson has a big game, and the defense smothers the Chargers offense. Baltimore covers here. I honestly like them at like -7.
Alternate line. That's probably like +1. Might be like +210 if you like
7.5. You'd probably
just
get
a guess.
like.
Let's see how in tune I am. I'm just gonna check this real quick, then we're gonna get to the Bears. But it's good to check. What do you got, Works?
It's gonna be 7.5, right? I think 7 flat might be silly. It takes 7.5 there, get a little extra value.
What'd you like him at, Jesse? 7?
-7.
Plus 180.
Ooh, Wargs. That was a good pick. Plus 175. You can get that at the moment with DraftKings. Good call. So to round out the week, we're going to touch on the Bears here a little bit. I'd like to say we're going to get more in depth, but we tend to get in depth more often than we should on some of these other games. But Bears at Minnesota. Minnesota's favored -3. Bears are currently sitting at 3-8. Again, Minnesota has arguably the best quarterback of our generation. So what are our thoughts this week for this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just going to give you my quick pick. We're going to have another video with more in-depth analysis of this specific game, with this being the Chitown Lowdown podcast. So tune in for that if you want a more in-depth analysis. But I like the Bears obviously here. Emotionally, I am biased, but as I said on our last podcast, the Bears played the best football that we've seen to this point in the season. Last week against Detroit, they just could not close that game out. So I think they play really, really well in Minnesota and cover the spread and get the win as well.
I was listening to a Bears podcast. I think it was on 670 The Score AM radio station that I pay attention to, but they were saying that Bears are like top 10 in 4 offensive and defensive stat categories in terms of like transfer or transitioning on third down, stopping on third down. Justin Fields is like over 100 QBR in 3 of his last 4 games. Again, to Jesse's point, we're playing a lot better. We got a lot of pieces. Bears.
Yeah, if Matt Eberflus can stay out of our players' way to win this game, I picked the Bears. They're playing I think, really well. I just watching them from the beginning of the season to now, I've seen a big difference. They're playing. They're healthy. They're playing good in Minnesota. They're hot and cold right now. So Bears.
Nice.
Bears cover. Bears win.
That's what I'm talking about, boys.
All right. And that is our episode 6 Sunday preview podcast for Chitown Lowdown. So if you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe to our page. We will continue to put out our opinions on what's happening in the NFL, how we see the matchups coming up. Tom's going to hit you with some weather.
Yeah, throw some comments in the comment section if you got some weather questions. I'm always here to fulfill your weather needs. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, we need to get the comment section live, like and subscribe, like Jesse said. Any other ideas as to new segments? Obviously, I got a little carried away with the cooking, so that was an idea of mine. Do a little cooking thing, but let us know what you guys think. Let's see you in the next one.